Hey guys, it's Toby Morrison here from CFS Health, and welcome to another episode of the Chronic Illness Recovery Podcast. And just to preface, why we've chosen chronic illness is because we help people with chronic fatigue syndrome, we help people who have ME, we help people who have adrenal fatigue, we help people with post-viral fatigue. We're helping a lot of people with long COVID right now inside our program. So we're really helping a lot of different people who are under the umbrella of chronic illness. And here's the thing, we help people who are diagnosed and people who aren't diagnosed, right? Because ultimately what's happening with what's going on is there is ill health that is chronic, that is going on in your body. And so what we want to do is not focus on the illness, but focus on building health. And so that's what we do at CFS Health. So if you're going through one of those conditions, then this podcast and our program is going to be really, really helpful for you. Now, today's episode is super important. Could be the most important episode that you're ever going to listen to. And that is around commitment. The question is, how committed are you? And I'm going to share with you a really powerful story that will help you a hell of a lot. And we're going to just talk around commitment and what that actually means in terms of recovery. Now, before we get into that, which is quite fitting, I got to share win of the week. And in this week's win of the week, there's two people. And it kind of ties in perfectly with this conversation around commitment because both of these individuals are very committed people. Firstly, we have Heidi. Heidi is from Norway and just is an incredible young woman. And she was able to get back into training at the gym after about 7-8 months working with us. And as you can see in this photo, I'm sharing this on our YouTube channel. So if you're listening to this on audio, you can head over to the YouTube channel and watch this video. You can see she's got muscles on her arms, she's got muscles in her legs, and she's smiling and she's just glowing, basically. Now, that wasn't the conversation that we were having when she first joined our program. She couldn't even do any movement at all. It was literally just like light stretching, and her health was majorly disrupted. And so over time, with consistency and commitment, she was able to rebuild and regain her strength over time and feel really good about it. So that's number one. Shout out to you, Heidi. We love you and you are amazing. Number two is one of our lifestyle integration members. Now, Tara has been with us for, I think it's almost 2 years now. And she's in our lifestyle integration program, which is where we just talk about life. It's all coaching around life, and we don't even talk about recovery in there. And Tara shared this quote with us, and I'm sharing it. It's a little bit of an old one, but I'm sharing this with you because she's gone on to do so many more amazing things. But she wrote here in our group, "Today I'm grateful that I flew to San Francisco and walked around the city for an hour. 5 months ago, I was being wheeled around in the airport in a wheelchair to fly back home. A huge blessing and a beautiful moment to witness this incredible progress." Now, this was November 2021. Same woman now is just looking so strong. She was majorly underweight, so she's put on a bunch of weight, a bunch of muscle. You can see her shoulder muscles now when she's on our coaching calls. And the other cool thing is she was able to take her daughter on an overseas holiday and have a fantastic time. And yeah, this brilliant woman is the epitome of commitment and showing up for herself, and in a time where it's really hard to want to do that. And this is what we're going to talk about today. So a quick story, I remember I was going through a pretty hard time and I hired a coach, and I thought I was pretty committed. I thought, I know a lot of things, I'm doing all the right things. And the first call really rocked me, and about 40 minutes into the call, we chatted about everything, and then this coach goes, "How committed are you? Like, actually, how committed are you?" And it really rocked me because before that, I thought I was committed. I was like, yeah, I'm committed. Of course I'm committed. But when this coach actually asked me, "But how committed actually are you?" I realized in that moment that I actually wasn't that committed, or that I hadn't been up until that point. And so I'm going to ask you that question today to ponder. How committed actually are you? How committed actually are you to your growth, to the changes that you actually truly want in your life, how committed are you? And that conversation changed the game for me, because it really reminded me of, well, am I committed, or am I just wanting something that I'm not really committed to? And it changed everything. It changed my behavior, it changed my actions, and it changed the results of my life. And so ultimately, commitment and the level of commitment that you have for yourself is going to be a direct reflection of the results that you have in your life. Now, here's the thing, and this isn't for everyone, but a lot of people out there are committed to finding something or someone else to fix their problem. And that's not actually going to fix the problem. Yeah? There is so many people searching for something or someone to fix their problem. Now, that is not true commitment. That's commitment to non-self-responsibility. Yeah? And then on the other hand, we have a lot of people, especially people who join our program. In fact, we just ran a Kickstarter call last night for 30 new members in Europe, and from so many countries. Iceland, England, obviously, we've got so many clients from England, Norway, Sweden, you name it. And by the end of this Kickstarter call, where, we walk through what we're going to do for the next couple of months, their next best steps, we have some long-term planning, and then they know exactly what they're going to do inside our program. A couple of the ladies said, wow, for the first time in my life, I feel so committed to myself. Like, I feel like I'm finally doing this for myself. And it's interesting, and I loved that that person brought that up, because then a few other people were like, oh my God, me too. I feel exactly the same way, and it feels so good. And I said, it's actually quite an important conversation to have, because if you think about it, if you come in not that committed, you're probably going to get not that great results. But if you come in really committed, and you're committed to just showing up and doing the work, just like Heidi did, just like Tara did, that's why I shared those win of the week for those two girls today, you're going to get, good results if you keep showing up. If you don't quit and you keep being consistent and you do the work, you're going to get results eventually. And so I just love that question. But how committed are you actually? And this just plays in everything: relationships, your health, your well-being, business, career, study, whatever you're doing and choosing. And if you look at the most successful people in the world, and I'm talking about, just doing something great that they are good at and that they want to do, they're all committed. You can't say that any of them aren't committed. I think about a basketball player by the name of Michael Jordan. Some of you may know him. One of the most committed people on the planet, and one of the best results ever to have played the game of basketball. Same thing, there's a younger guy who plays for Chicago Bulls called DeMar DeRozan, and when you watch him play, he expects to win and shoot the game-winning shot. And when he makes that game-winning shot, he's not even fazed. It's like, yeah, of course I was going to make that shot. He's so committed to the craft that it's just non-negotiable. Yeah, and I love that word, non-negotiable. I got that from one of my first ever mentors, Craig Harper. And Craig Harper said, well, what's your non-negotiables? What are you committed to that's just non-negotiable? And what that means is, I am going to do this regardless of how I feel. I'm going to do this regardless if I'm feeling motivated. I'm going to do this regardless if the sun's up or the sun's down. I'm going to do this. This is non-negotiable. Now, in a healthy way, a non-negotiable might be honoring your boundaries. It might be, eating clean food and making sure that you're eating every 2, 3, or 4 hours, depending on what you need. And you're having combined solid meals with good protein and complex carbohydrates, right? You're committed to that. It's a non-negotiable. You're committed to, being consistent with your movement plan and restorative movement. You're consistent with staying within your baseline so you can move forwards and progress. And so the question is, how committed are you actually, and what are your non-negotiables? And these two things can change the directory of your life. Inside our program, we have a thing called the futures model, and we really paint the future. And there's kind of two options, or there's really three. I'm going to draw this on the iPad right now for you. And if you're listening to this on audio, I want you to imagine on the left-hand side, there's kind of like a circle, and that's you right now. And then if we go like really far ahead of time, that's like, 2 years down the track, right? And so there's kind of three options that can happen here. The first option is, we can drift, right? And this is the red line. And so when we drift, we become complacent, we don't do the right things, and you can imagine this line going down, 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 deeper, deeper, deeper. And over time compounds everything. So if you're on this red line and you're going down in the downward spiral, you're drifting. And you're doing certain things, you're definitely not committed, that's for sure. Most people who are drifting, they're not committed to anything. They kind of just wish and wait and hope. And they, hope they get results, but they don't, because they're just hoping, waiting, and wishing. And here's the thing. You can't wait to get better. You have to start now. And that's a really important distinction to know. You can't wait to get better. You can't wait for energy to come to get better. You have to start now for the energy to return eventually back. And so what you need to focus on is building your strength and stamina within your appropriate baseline right now, right? What you are actually able and currently capable of doing that you can maintain, so you can expand your capacity over time. And when you do that, eventually more energy will become available to you. And so number one is obviously we can drift. We just keep doing things that don't work for us and we just drift down. Second option is we can cruise, right? And so we do the same stuff that we've always done and we get the same results that we've always got. Yeah. It just blows my mind that people expect something different when they do the same thing every single day. And then, of course, we have the green line. And so really this is our key focus inside our program. All our members know this. This is what they're working on every single day. And here's the thing. You might not feel like you're on the green line. You might have days where you're like, not motivated, you're not feeling good. But here's the thing. You're on the green line if you're doing the thing anyway, regardless if you're motivated or not. You're looking after your baseline. You're being consistent. You're eating the right things. You're looking for direct feedback based on the results that you're currently getting, and then modifying it based off what you want and where you want to go. And so up here really is success. At the top of the green line, we're moving towards success. And again, that means different things to different people. Inside our program, we've got grandmas whose goals are to hang out with their grandkids and play around their farm, which they're doing. We've got teenagers who are getting back into sport. We've got people writing books. We've got people falling pregnant, getting married, traveling the world. You name it. These are the things that our members are working towards, yeah? It's working on your mindset. It's becoming aware. It's becoming open to change and curious and open to inspiration from other people, yeah? And so it's proximity. Who you're surrounding yourself with. How committed are you to the proximity that you're hanging out with? The people in your life matter. And I'm not just talking offline, I'm talking online. What you surround yourself with, what you listen to matters. And it's either putting you and keeping you on the green line or it's putting you on the red line, yeah? And so you can see in this visual, there's really three options. And if you're on the red line right now, you might be thinking, oh my God, but I've been on the red line for 20 years or 10 years or whatever it is. And you might be thinking, wow, that gap is so big. For me to get from the red line to the green line is so long, right? But here's the thing. If you wait another 2 years, you're right. The gap's going to be harder and longer to get back onto the green line. But right now, as you're listening to this episode, you are as close as you will ever be to getting on this green line if you're not on it already. And if you are on the green line, which I suspect a lot of you are, I know a lot of our members listen to this podcast. Hey guys, I see you. You're on the green line, yeah? And you know that by doing all the right things and getting the right help and staying in good proximity is going to help you move faster along the green line to get to where you want to get to. And so I just love this model because I think it's just so powerful. And again, if you just look around in the world, you'll see people who are either living on the red line, living on the orange line, or living on the green line. And my question to you is, what line would you like to choose? Because ultimately it comes down to a choice. Like, what are you going to choose to do every single day? What are you committed to? Because we all have 24 hours in a day and what we do with it is up to us. And of course, you can get support, you can get help, you can get coaching, you can get accountability, and that's awesome. That's really, really helpful. But ultimately, you still have to do the work. You still have to show up. You have to show up for yourself. And I know it can be really, really tough. And one of our past members, Carly, said it really, really well. You have to show up and give it all your energy in a time that you have none. And what she meant by that, and this is another person who worked with us for a couple of years. She did incredibly well. It was hard, it was painful, there was lots of ups and downs, but she stayed the course, and now she's living such a rich life. She just got married. She's got her own online bikini business called Fold Swim, which is just incredible. And she's just doing really, really cool things. And so, again, it's showing up in a time that you don't feel like it. It's the non-negotiables that, if you do them is going to work. Now, if you have no idea what to do and you have no knowledge or skill set in terms of what to do based off where you're at, then that's the first point of call, is to really looking into that, researching and going, what do I actually need help with? What's going to move me forwards right now the most? And so I would definitely recommend checking out our free trainings. We've got a bunch there. If you just need help with accountability, and then you also need some coaching and context to help you on your journey, wherever you're at, whether you're in stage 1, which is the acute stage of suffering and extreme fatigue and extreme symptoms. Stage 2 is kind of slowly integrating out of that in the tired and wired stage, where you're starting to rebuild and recalibrate your body. And then stage 3 is integrating back into life, where you are literally integrating back into living, which has a whole, set of challenges that you will have to overcome and move forwards anyway. And so, I'm going to wrap this up right now, but I hope this has kind of given you some clarity onto where you're at on the scale. Are you on the red line? Are you on the orange line, yellow line, or are you on the green line? And what are you going to choose? And it's a daily thing that you can keep choosing to show up on that green line, no matter what you are going through. So sending you all my love. Big shout out to Heidi and Tara. Thank you, girls, for showing up for yourselves, because ultimately, if you didn't, I wouldn't be able to share these amazing stories to everyone else listening. And also listen to the end of this podcast. We've got a couple of extra things for you that can help you on your recovery whenever you're ready. Wishing you all the best, and I'll speak to you very, very soon. Bye for now. Hey, I hope that episode was really, really helpful. Here are 3 ways we can help you whenever you are ready. The first way is through our free Facebook group. It's called the CFS Health Recovery Info Hub. Go and join there. It's a private group. I think there's like 4,500 people in there currently. We add free trainings in there. We add free helpful content and reminders to keep you going on your recovery. The second thing is our free resources on our website. We have the free baseline training. We also have the 3-step recovery process to start living again, and the recovery framework too. So go check that out. We'll leave some links in the description. And thirdly, another way we can help you is you directly work with us professionally. And this is where you would enroll in our mentorship program. And this is where we help clients literally step by step all the way through their recovery to living again. So if you would like help on a professional level, if you would like help on a practical level, which I think is the biggest problem in the world right now, this is what we provide, feel free to apply for the program. It is application only, so make sure you fill that out properly. We want to know what the current struggles are for you. We also want to know what your 3 goals are if you were to work with us. And it's really important that we get to know you on a deeper level, because this will help us identify where your stuck points are. And we can also identify a plan for you that you can start to implement right away. And so if you'd like to work with us and all of our amazing coaches, and also be surrounded by some freaking amazing people in over 53 countries, our program is the most comprehensive online recovery program there is. We cover every aspect of recovery. I'm not going to bore you with the details. You can just apply. We'll send you the information pack, which covers everything inside it, including the investment, the time, and what you get inside of it as well. So really looking forward to connecting with you there. And again, make sure you subscribe to the podcast, leave a review if you found it helpful. We really want to make a difference in the world. We want to make sure that our content, our work really reaches people in need, because the amount of time someone says, oh my God, I wish I found this 7 years ago, it happens every week. So let's do this together and make some positive change in the world. All the best for now, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.